Well, hey, this is Patrick at Radicards.com, and I'd like to talk for a little bit about branding. We all assume some degree of brand recognition in some capacity, whether we like it or not. It's sort of it's our responsibility to identify that brand and mold it into something. Not all of us will do this. Many of us won't even care. But those of us that do can pay close attention to who we are as people, as we go about our lives, and what we can do to identify a role that we can play based on our skills, and how we can identify a purpose for those skills to accommodate a market need. Right? So I've talked about branding in the past, specifically brand identity and how it differs from brand image, right? So your brand identity is how you want to be perceived, right? How you plan or intend for others to see you. On the flip side, brand image is how others see you, whether you like it or not. With this in mind, we're able to identify and actually make choices that mold our actions, right? Because we know that when we do something, it contributes to our brand image. It allows others to see us in a certain light. And it's up to us to be responsible and mold our personal brands in a way that's to our benefit, to our favor, to our advantage. So, for example, if I want people to see me as a resource, say for, business, let's just say business, since I'm talking about something that's related to business. And, profession, dress, etiquette, mannerisms, being a professional. And I build relationships around this content. I find people to consult with. I speak at events. I give talks on, marketing, technology, branding. People start to see me as this professional person. Okay, I've made it a point to mold a career, let's say, around offering my services to educate consumers on how to be more professional. Right? Okay? And then something happens, and that activity, that act, deviates me away from that appearance, that perception, that image that I've built with my audience. You see this a lot with celebrities. They'll, make some stupid judgment error, and their brand image will be essentially ruined. They will be ruined. This happens. Just start thinking about people you knew growing up that were celebrities, and certain acts that really bad PR that ruined them professionally. They didn't get gigs anymore, and they're essentially done. And it took 20 years for them to come back to even try to entertain the possibility of getting back into their category as a participant. Much less a market leader, which would be very difficult to do a second time around. Granted, it does happen. It's called reinvention. I totally get that. So what I'm saying is, understand what you do and how you want to be perceived. You probably ask yourself, Patrick, how does this relate to sports cards? Well, this actually relates more to social media, right? A lot of us have channels on YouTube or profiles on Facebook or wherever else, And we might be creating content. Actually, a lot of us are creating content, if not all of us, whatever, are creating content around something, around sports cards, whether we're box breaking or sharing knowledge that we happen to have stumbled upon that we find that might be helpful to other people, other collectors. Okay, so that's good to do. Over the course of time, everybody will be seen in some light. Everybody will be seen in some image. Now you have to ask yourself, is the image that I've created for myself the one that I want? Right? And if it's not the one I want, how do we reposition what we're doing to readjust and better align our brand identity with our brand image? That's the goal. And if we are aligned, great. But if we're not, what can we do to manipulate that expectation? So you also have to think about your role and purpose and how you can use these two tools to build stronger and create new relationships with your audience or consumer. Okay, we call this the brand essence. It is everything that you stand for in what you're doing. It is everything that makes you what you are. People think about you, they think about this one thing. They have a complete overall view of what you stand for, right? Your purpose and your value. What is your purpose? Ask yourself that, right? What is it that you're doing? More importantly, what are you doing that's different from everybody else? The uniqueness of it, the innovation of your offering. Okay? There are a lot of people that are doing the same types of things, but they might be doing it in a more unique way. Individual people have individual actions. And ask yourself, is what I'm doing different than what everybody else is doing? And if not, is that okay? Am I okay with that? And if not, and I'm not okay with that, what can I do to change that to create a more unique experience for my audience? Okay, that will create value. Value also comes from identifying a specific need in a market that's either untapped or has already been accommodated elsewhere, but you feel that you can provide the solution in a much better way than the current service provider, right? You see this in business a lot. People enter markets that might be saturated or perceived to be saturated, but it doesn't matter because the person jumping into the market knows much more about the current participants and can accommodate that market need in a way that vastly outperforms everyone else who's providing to fill that gap. Bottom line here is that what we're talking about here is understanding what you're doing and how it's impacting how people perceive you, and identifying new ways to either realign and or create a stronger, more desirable offering to your audience. Why should I go to your page? Why should I go to your channel? Why should I listen to what you're saying? What kind of credibility do you have? What makes you credible? Why do I care? These are questions, this is more rhetoric to think about. Break it down. Ask yourself these questions. Why should your audience care about what you're saying or what you're doing? Is there a reason that I should go to your channel over other channels? I think about this kind of thing often. I've thought about branding for many years, but I think about it often on social media specifically because it's so easy to make a mistake on social media and it would going viral, and it could really hurt us as people. So I try to pay close attention to this kind of thing, to look out for myself, but also to hope that other people can make good, healthy decisions online as well. So that is something I just like to share with you today, is that I believe that every one of us is really good at something. We call that our core competency, right? Each one of us does something really well. We may not each know what that is, but it's up to us to figure out what that is, and up to us to actually both identify it and strengthen it. So that we can use that tool to our advantage and make the most of it while we create our own personal brands. And at the same time, add value to our audience. Every one of us has something that we do really well. And I'll leave you with that you do something really well. What is it? Thank you for tuning in to Radicards.com. And until next time, enjoy collecting. If you like this content, please subscribe. Thank you. Enjoy collecting.